Awesome, guys. What is going on as I try and figure this out? Hopefully, you can hear me. So, what I want to go over is I'm going to go over manifestation and visualization and manifestation, what that really means. So, the core concept is anything that you visualize in your mind's eye, call it your brain, call it your pineal gland, whatever you want to call it. It's really up to you. But sometimes you can visualize in your in your mind. Sometimes you can see there's a movie screen inside your head. Sometimes you see yourself on a stage. Sometimes you see yourself actually winning the lottery. So more power to you. Honestly, all of these things are it's just energy. Really, starts here and your RAS. It's like this little antenna in your brain. That's really where it's the receiver. And this is all science, by the way. You can go check this out yourself. I don't have time to explain it to you. I really want you to just figure this out and just understand that. Just surrender and go with the flow, because it's so important to understand that at the end of the day, you can really create any reality you want, whether it be negative, positive, wealth, abundance, purposeful, meaningful, come from contribution, maybe a lot of empathy for the world, and you want to talk about creating orphanages or saving pets, whatever it may be, animals, supporting animals and so forth. And all of these are everything is sacred, guys. Everything you do, every moment you have, everywhere you go, everything is sacred. So you treat it that way. And then that way you'll have my story will help you tell your story, or vice versa. I learn more from you than you learn from me, because every time I meet with a client and I do sessions, and I mean, literally, I can do hypnotherapy sessions on. I'm a certified master hypnotist. We're talking everything from literally maybe you have some tics, maybe you have a nail biting, maybe you constantly are in fear or anxiety or depression. All those things through therapy that can be resolved. I'm not saying they can be fully taken care of. However, there is some mending that needs to go on, some kind of internal healing to deal with all of these triggers, all of these habitual things that we have, from smoking to drugs and so forth. So today, what I want to share with you about visualization and manifestation is, excuse me, nothing just happens. Everything is by design. So what I mean by that is, at the end of the day, you need to go ahead and whatever life you want to live, maybe you have a vision board about that, or maybe you have a dream home, maybe you have a dream car, maybe you have a love, or you want to be in a relationship. All of these things start with a thought. Now you know what that person is going to look like. You know what you're attracted to. So at the end of the day, you cannot attract. Well, you can, but it's going to be quite a mess. You're going to actually have a lot of issues with it. You can't attract what isn't meant to be. So you've got to go through internal thought process, your internal feelings and emotions. Because that's what's going to work. Is at the end of the day, and I wrote a book about this called Be Do You Have. There's kind of a drop, quick sell there. But I wrote a book where once you can visualize, once you can see in your mind, you can feel in your heart, when you can feel that you are worthy to receive that gift, that desire, that something that motivates you to accomplish in life, that goal or that dream, to bring it to reality. Once you can feel it and behave and act that way, what happens is when your visual and your emotion, when they meet at that pinnacle, okay, visual and my heart meet, because the heart's a brain, actually, guys. The heart's a brain. It kind of beats itself. Beats itself. That's interesting. When they meet, that's when you manifest. That's when you bring to reality that gift or that purpose or that item or that goal. Maybe even a financial goal. This is all good. All of this is fantastic. Or I treat everything as sacred. If there's 1 cent on the floor, pick that 1 cent up, because to me that's money. That is sacred. That is something that's of value. And whether it's 1 cent or $1 million, it's all the same. It's money. It's currency. Okay, it's constantly circulating through the system. I never spend money. I circulate money. It always comes back to me. And through my visualization, when I get that image in my head, like for me, for instance, I'm kind of, I want a Ferrari F8. I'm just saying that because that's what I want. And that's me, because that's what I am. I know the color of the Ferrari F8. I know what year I want. Okay. And I know it's a Spider. I know what the interior looks like. So I went to the Ferrari dealership. I sat in a Ferrari. I didn't sit in an F8. I sat in a 458 Spider, I believe. But there was an F8 there, and I saw it, and it was brand new. And I got to experience and almost like smell it. I could almost smell it. I could almost like taste it. because I know what that's like, I can feel that. So when I'm visualizing my Ferrari F8 Spider convertible, white with the red interior seats and red and black interior in the console and so forth, I know what it looks like. I know what it smells like. I know what it feels like. I know there's a bridge where some of the gadgets, the gauges are on, and so forth. This is just something for me to share with you. That at the end of the day, if you visualize it, you can manifest it. Everything is energy before it becomes matter. So, like just a simple just a simple kind of scenario. Okay, let's say you've always wanted to go to Cancun, Mexico, because I want to go there. I mean, there's many places I want to go: Bali, Singapore. You know, there's all these great places I want to go. I want to visit the world. I want to travel all over the world. India, China. There's so many places I want to visit just because I find them fascinating and so different. The cultures are so wildly unique and fantastic. You're not gonna be able to visit Cancun if you don't know what Cancun is or what that looks like. Okay, now maybe you want a trip or maybe some advice. Great, more power to you. Ultimately, at the end of the day, really, it's about what you see and believe will become a reality. So seeing you on the beach in Cancun or seeing pictures of Cancun, seeing the hotels and the resort, or maybe even planning a trip to go there, once you start to feel it, it will start becoming, will start to resonate with you. You'll start attracting. You'll start to see all of a sudden everything about Cancun pops up on your social media, and people talk to you about Cancun. You're like, man, I'm going to Cancun. All of a sudden, all of this, you attract, okay, what you give out. So it's almost like this symbiotic energy, almost like this cycle that whatever you think you become, right? Whatever you desire, you'll attract. Um, so and vice and the reverse, of course. So here's the reverse psychology of that. If you don't like negative people, don't say that. Don't say anything at all because you'll attract negative people. The subconscious mind, okay, it's they say it's like 10% consciousness and 90% subconscious. I think that's completely something else. I think it's like literally less than 0.001% is consciousness. The subconscious mind is so powerful. It's so off the charts incredible. That's also where the infinite intelligence is. We know what that is. That's the creator of the universe. That's God. That's who God is. He gives us the source, this power, this programming to be who we are, and in life as it is. Of course, everything's pre-planted in our DNA. However, there's moments of supernatural blessings and favor through prayer and through fasting and through seeking that you can just all of a sudden get this download. You can receive this gift. It's like, wow, this beautiful gift I have. This is phenomenal. And yes, you can. It's yours, and you deserve that because that's part of you. You're in a sense a creator. I'm not saying you're the creator. I'm saying you're like creating your own reality. And yes, God had already predestined your reality for you. Now, can you make that more impactful? Of course you can. If you act like a loser, you're going to be a loser. If you act like a winner, you're always going to be winning. And then of course God can work with you because you're always winning. You're an excellent human being. You can work with that. So in saying all these things, what I'm really trying to get at is everything starts with a visual or an image or a desire to have something that you see. So it's an image, it's a visual thing. Or maybe you see Dr. Joe Dispenza on stage, or you see Tony Robbins on stage. Maybe you see a new car that's been released, or maybe you see a beautiful lady on the beach. And then all of a sudden that just triggers you. Okay. That you can make that a reality if you focus on it long enough. And who knows how long it will take? I have no idea because things of mine have taken years and even decades. And now I'm following my true purpose, but it took me a long time. It took me decades to get here. Because I kept not chasing it, but I kept believing in it. You don't want to chase anything because here's the sad thing about chasing. When you chase something, whether it's something that you admire or love or that you want to have a relationship with, sadly they enjoy the chase. And it's only temporary because once you've caught them, okay, it really wasn't meant to be. You've kind of forced something into existence. So what happens is that force eventually will crack. There'll be like a cracking universe, and that person will just kind of go their own way, and because you forced something into existence that really wasn't meant to be. So my advice to you is focus more on attracting, focus more on visual stimulation, and you'll start to have the energy. You'll start to see things pop in your life that are so like groundbreaking. Like, wow, I just had a chat to this person today. So let's use me for instance. Let's say I desire a relationship. Okay, I know exactly what kind of a lady I want in my life. I know the height, I know the hair color, I know the eyes, I know the skin tone. I know the voice. Well, I'm kind of mixed between that, right? And I'm not too sure if I want a South African or American lady in my life. But I know what I like, what I look at that turns me on, that I'm attracted to. So if I keep that in my mind of what I want, those that matter, those human beings, those ladies that come into my life, I'll resonate with them. They'll resonate, and when they feel a synergy with me, because it's symbiotic, I guess, win-win. All of a sudden, I've got this beautiful human being in my life, this beautiful lady, and I can have a great relationship because it wasn't that I forced. And sadly enough, in a lot of my life, through my being very ambitious and highly motivated, I forced a lot of things into reality, and I actually lost those beautiful gifts because I didn't allow it to be natural. I didn't allow it to be blissful and purposeful. And I didn't come from contribution. I chased something I really wanted. And when I got it, I got a hold of it. And then I was always scared to lose it. And unfortunately, I did. I lost a lot in my life. I've also chemist a lot. So it's kind of like, I've been in my Zen moments and I've had my yin and my yang. Not that I'm too much familiar with that, but I was using that because it's a play on words. I realized that I'd lost things because it wasn't organic or wasn't natural in the beginning. And those are kind of the same thing, natural, organic, that's kind of really means the same thing. We've just taken something that was, natural and corrupted it. So now we have to call it organic. Go after your dreams. Go after your purpose. And yes, maybe it changes. Maybe in 6 months' time it changes, or in a week's time it changes because something happened in your life or some event happened in your life. That's okay. Go after what you feel you want to do. The rest will follow. The rest will just fall into place. And eventually, ultimately, you'll become this magnificent human being, and you'll be great, or you'll be excellent. Because there's no such thing as perfection. Only God is perfect. Perfection is not real for human beings, but excellent is. Nobody's perfect. Nothing's perfect. If we were perfect human beings, we wouldn't be having conflict in the world today, and there wouldn't be division and so forth. So if there's anything I can give you, I really want to give you this moment to reflect and spend time on what you want. And if you don't really know what you want, sit down and write down 3 things. Okay? Then out of those 3 things, take one of those things out that you really doesn't like. I can ignore that. I can excuse that, and then get rid of that thing. So now you're down to 2. Okay? And maybe then just spend time. And what I mean by meditate is sit there and look at what those 2 options are. Okay? Look what those 2 options are. And decide what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And then eliminate the one that it really isn't, that is the other one's compounding effect, is kind of making it get rid of it. Now you've got your one thing. Okay. Then in the morning, write the one thing out 3 times. During lunch, write that thing out 6 times. In the evening, write that thing out 9 times. What you're doing is you're reinforcing that program. You're reinforcing that purpose that you want to have to become a reality. Can you evolve from that? Absolutely. Can you eventually change and maybe in 6 months' time you take a different trajectory? Yes, of course you can. Here's the most important thing. Is you're going in the right direction, you're doing the right thing, to go in the right places. So I want to leave you with that. Write down those 3 things and eventually get rid of 2 and land up with 1. And here's what I always love to tell people. I tell us all the time is be a leader, okay, not a follower. You can make such a difference as a leader. Be a lender, not a borrower, and always intend on doing the right thing. Anyway, folks, this is Kevin the Toit here. Please subscribe and like this.